Today is Tuesday, December 21st, 2021. Let's take a look at the price action on both the NASDAQ and the Russell this morning on the AbleTrend charts and look at the AbleTrend signals. Got a good little sell off at the open on the NASDAQ and then recovered all day long, finished up. Russell was kind of gradually trending upwards almost all day long. So let's take a look at NASDAQ signals. I did not trade the NASDAQ today. Today I traded Russell. So I'm not overly familiar with the signals on the NASDAQ, but it looks like we got a sell pretty close to market open at 754. Got down to a low on that same bar at 728.5. Quickly reversed. Probably would have stopped you out, but then you would have been back in on the sweet spot right here. Came up, tested 1 minute, bar turned red, and got a red oscillator short at 736, and then this trended down quite nicely. Got to a low right there of 670.5. Two green bars right there. Put a stop at 711. Continue downwards. Stop here at maybe 693.5 or so, and likely would have been stopped out there. So great trade there on that sweet spot. Tough to, first entry of the day, take a stop out. It's hard to get right back in, but that's what was necessary on that one. Moved along, trended downwards, came back up, tested the 2 minute resistance, rejected that, came down for a 1 minute sell signal at about 651 or so. That thing, trended down quickly to 614. Came back up. Two green bar exit would have had you out maybe at 636 or so. So that was a nice little 15 or so points. Not a bad 15 points there. And then that was kind of when we bottomed out and then trended upwards for the rest of the day. So you could get in right there once you had full confirmation and a blue bar. Kind of a risky entry if you ask me. I think a better entry would have been this sweet spot once you get a little pullback to the 1 minute. Bar turns blue, oscillator down here turns blue. You'd be in right here at 722. And then that just kind of took off from there. Got to a high of almost 796. Two green bar exit would eventually have stopped you out maybe around 782 or so. So that was a great trend. That's probably the better trade of the day, along with this first sweet spot. So definitely a positive day with the NASDAQ. You only really had that first stop out, and you're locking in profit on every other trade. So great day on the NASDAQ. Like I said, did not trade NASDAQ today. Today I traded Russell. So let's go full screen Russell and take a look at the entries. Frustrating day, I would say. I ended up green on the day, which is always good. Can't be mad about that. But I opened my day with a clean 10-point profit. I typically have a target profit of 10 points on the Russell when I'm trading the Russell. So I got in quickly at the open right here once we got full confirmation and closed above this resistance level. I went long at 2162.6. Didn't really take any heat whatsoever. Got a quick acceleration to the upside on the opening bar that I got in on, and then my profit target was up here, 10 points from my entry, and hit that. Always a great feeling to start the day with that, especially when it's 1, 2, 3, 4. Only takes 5 minutes to make 10 points on the Russell. It's pretty sweet. Looking back, I wish I would have walked away at that point. Wish I would have stopped trading at 6:38 in the morning. I did not. I have a profit goal of about 20 points on the Russell per day, and I've seen that hit multiple times over the last couple of weeks with volatility, and that could have happened today. But I utilize a 3.5 point stop loss when I trade the Russell. And even if I would have just had a stop at the bottom of my entry bar on this next trade, so had that nice trade, opening trade, another signal right here, and I went long. I love this entry. I mean, looking at it, I love this. The only thing I don't like is this long bar leading up to it, but we have a fractal right here, and we hadn't broken it yet. If we had broken it, I would have been a little more hesitant to take that trade, but since we hadn't broken it, I was all in right there. I mean, no, I'm just trading one contract, but I'm all in right there, thinking, we closed just below that. Once we break through that fractal, boom, we're going to explode to the upside. Was not the case. Immediately went against me. I didn't have any profit on this trade. Like I said, I used a 3.5 point stop loss, which, on this definitely came back to bite me. If I would have used something, I think maybe I needed obviously a 5 point stop loss would have been better. But that's a lot of risk on the Russell, especially since you don't get massive runs like the Nasdaq. And so, it is what it is. Obviously, this trade worked out, but it didn't work out for me. I was in here, stopped out pretty quickly, and then to watch it trend like this so cleanly, probably one of the most frustrating things. And that's why I said today was a very frustrating day for me to open up the day with a clean 10 points in 5 minutes, and then to get stopped out quickly from this little pullback before it continues onward. I think looking back, one of the things I'm most frustrated about is I was ready to pull the trigger to go back in long right here. And I talked myself out of it because it's not a valid AbleTrend signal. It's really not. I mean, there's nothing valid about jumping in right here. It's not a valid AbleTrend signal, and that's what stopped me or held me back from jumping back in. I was prepared to jump back in, and look, if I did, we're looking at, I would have had another 10-point profit target out there, another easy 10 points, and so I would have been 10 points here, 10 points there, less the 3.5 points. That's a great day. So I think that's where I'm kicking myself the most, is not jumping in there. But I don't really track stuff like that. Like that would have been just a feel kind of trade, and I don't track that, and so I have no back testing on that. I think that was where I was most frustrated. Apart from that, I followed the signals all day. So took that loss there, continued upwards. Another valid entry right here, completely valid. We had 3-minute never stop printing, 2-minute stop printing for a while, but 2-minute resistance never printed. We got a buy signal right here. It closed above the 2-minute support level, and I immediately got stopped up. And as you can see, we just went sideways for a while. So I was done after that. I was still green on the day, but I just stopped trading after that. So, valid signal, got stopped out, is what it is. A couple other little trends here. Maybe you could have squeezed a couple points out of each one of them. But the two strong trends, quick trends, were kind of right here at the open. From there, kind of gradually drifted to the upside from there. I'm done trading in those time frames. But going through this one, I can't be mad. It was a green day. I followed my system. I followed the AbleTrend signals. I took each signal as it is, as it presented itself. I stopped trading after this one to just make sure I'm up for the day. Didn't want to take another loss. Maybe that's not the best thing to do. But after these two quick stop outs, I said, I'm good. But I guess reflecting, not mad about taking this signal at all. I think that was a great signal to jump in on. What I'm a little bummed out about is not jumping in right here. And I can go back and forth on it. Obviously, hindsight is perfectly clear. But we're looking in right here. Get this little pullback and this nice strong blue bar. Boom, long. it trends nicely. So I don't know. I could go on and on about that all day, how I feel about it. But it is what it is at the end of the day. You got to trade the signals. You know, that easily could have not stopped me out. It ran 10 points. I'm up 20 points and probably calling it a day at that point. Easily could have happened. Didn't happen. Um, you know, you just never know. That's why you got to take each signal as it comes, and not overthink anything. So, anyways, that was a price action for today, Tuesday, December 21st, 2021. Pretty decent day. Just kind of a couple little things that kind of got at me a little bit, but that's trading. It is what it is. So we'll catch you next time.